Good afternoon. Welcome back to HSS English Classroom. Today we will go to the third part of the lesson, Matchbox by Asha Purna Devi. We saw that in the second part, we saw that Ajith and Nomitha was in the midst of a quarrel. And in the climax, Nomitha picked up the matchbox and lighted up her sari. To this action, Ajith was terrified. He jumped over her side and puts out the fire. And he tries to speak normally. You lose all your control when you get angry. And he utters a very significant sentence, expression. A woman and such anger. Oof. This is the final expression which we had tried to analyze in the last part of the video. So this expression has a significance in this unit, in this lesson. And I told you, I think, we have to think of it, the attitude of Ajith towards women. What does that expression signify? From these words of Ajith, we can understand that what Ajith thinks women should be like. Okay, let us go to the next part of it. Who knows what Nomitha would have said next? But right then, her niece Rani steps into the room. Immediately, she says piercingly, "So, Kurima, how much longer does the washerman have to wait? If you don't want to give him any of your clothes, at least tell him that." For a second or two, Nomitha is still, perhaps recalling the washerman's face, waiting for her downstairs. Then she picks up the dirty clothes and starts sorting them. She says in a calm tone, "Go tell him I'm coming. I'm bringing up the clothes. I'm bringing the clothes." Nomitha speaks her mind, so no one attacks her outright to her face. They only pinch her with sharp words. Her second sister-in-law is almost exhausted with work this morning. And seeing her, she puts a twisted smile on her sweat-streaked face and says, "Well, that's something. At least you finally decided to come down from upstairs. Baba, there's no good or bad time for you. You find the smallest excuse to go into your room and get cozy with your husband. Does the loud talk never get old?" Nomitha looks around once to get a sense of the atmosphere, sees the hurly-burly of the morning, sees the forest of people on either side. Her voice must not tremble. So she too smiles a small smile and says in an extremely soft voice, "Oh, it's nothing like that. You should come and peek in sometime. Our talk is all angry talk, do you know?" So at this juncture, the storyteller stops where a woman and such anger. And what would have Nomitha said next? If the same, just think of it, if the same words are used to you, if you are a woman, or you can guess what you would say, or what you would have said. Here, what Nomitha would have retorted, or what Nomitha would have said to this, we don't know. Why? A small girl, a little girl comes up to the upstairs and asks her, "Kurima," that's the way they call Auntie, "Kurima, how much longer the washerman has to wait outside?" So then only she comes to the normal situation. She thinks over it. Oh, washerman is waiting outside. She Nomitha comes to her normal sense. For a second or two, Nomitha recalls washerman's face, and she begins to collect the dirty clothes and tells that little girl, go and tell the washerman that I am coming. Now, next paragraph, the author tells about Nomitha's some more traits of Nomitha's character. Some traits of Nomitha's character. Nomitha speaks her mind. This is what you can write in if the question is asked about the write a character sketch of Nomitha or such questions. Nomitha speaks her mind, so no one attacks her outright. So there are other women members of the family, and all these women members knows Nomitha's character. See, they will not attack Nomitha outright, because why? Nomitha speaks her mind. Nomitha എന്താണ് തുറന്നടിക്കുന്ന പ്രകൃതക്കാരിയാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് അവര് പലപ്പോഴും മറ്റ് സ്ത്രീ മെമ്പർമാർ ആ വീട്ടിലുള്ള അവര് നേരെ നൊമിതയെ മോശമായിട്ട് നൊമിതയോട് സംസാരിക്കില്ല. They pinch her with sharp words. A woman member comes, her second sister-in-law. She says, "Oh, at least you have come down. You have decided to come down from upstairs." So why does she say so? It is a joint family. She is very tired of working, sweat streaked to face. It is said like that. She works hard, and she wants the help of Nomitha also, but Nomitha is not coming down, and she expresses her displeasure over Nomitha not coming down to the kitchen, and she asks, "Does your love talk never get old?" So for this, Nomitha looks around, and then only she gets the real situation, the real sense of the atmosphere, and sees the hurly-burly of the morning. What do you mean by the hurly-burly of the morning? Hurly-burly means the confusion, the chaos around that home, and so she must not tremble. Her voice must not tremble. She should control herself, and by controlling herself, she says, "Oh, it is not nothing like that. Our talks are, you must, now and then you should come to our upstairs, and you can see that our talks are all angry talks." But the sister-in-law was not ready to agree with Nomitha, or she did not believe what Nomitha said. And she says that, Major wife, I'll read the rest of the paragraphs. Major wife laughs, hoo, and says, "Stop it now, wife. Don't cover up the forbidden fish with your pious spinach. We haven't been raised on donkey grass. Why do you need to pick in what you're showing us right in front of our eyes 24 hours a day?" Nomitha laughs a laugh that can bring an attractive flush to a white face. After laughing that laugh, she says, "Go on. You say naughtiest things." The busy Bora wife runs up. "Have you chopped the vegetables yet? Oh, are you just telling stories?" And suddenly she stops and starts. "What's that? What's this unlucky thing now, wife? How did you burn your uncle that way?" Nomitha too starts, but only for a moment. The next instant, she falls and calls back quickly and says, laughing, "Oh, don't remind me. It's exactly what you keep warning me about. I didn't listen. And see what happened. I used my ankle to lift a hot pot of water off the stove, and that did it." I told you, the sister-in-law was not ready to believe what Nomitha said. And she says an expression, a beautiful saying, "Don't cover up your forbidden fish with your pious spinach." Don't cover up your forbidden fish with your pious spinach. That means don't try to hide whatever is very clear to us. That means don't try to hide the truth from us. Okay, we know what you are showing up before our eyes every day. So you don't try to fool us. We are not growing on donkey grass. ഞങ്ങളും ചോറ് തന്നെയാണ് തിന്നുന്നത് എന്ന രൂപത്തിലാണ് സിസ്റ്റർ ഇൻ ലോ സംസാരിക്കുന്നത്. Nomitha laughs a laugh that can bring an attractive flush to a white face. Nomitha tries to laugh and she says, go on, you say the naughtiest things. You can say anything. The fact is otherwise. That is the expression which came to her face at that moment. At that moment, another sister-in-law comes. The busy Bora wife runs up. Have you chopped the vegetables yet? She asked the other sister-in-law. Have you chopped the vegetables yet? Oh, are you telling stories here? Then, accidentally, she notices the sari, the burned part of the sari of Nomitha. And she was shocked. And what is that? What is this unlucky thing now, wife? What is this unlucky thing? Then only Nomitha also comes to know about it. She also starts, but she tells a lie. Oh, this is what happened when I was, lifting a hot pot from the stove. And why did she tell it like that? Here also there is some significance for this sentence too. She is not ready to express her problems or share her own problems with even other members of the family. So, is this good or bad? We have to think that too. That means if you suffer some problem in your, the house of your husband, or if a girl she faces a problem in school or at home, many women or many girls are not ready to share it up with the other members of the family or to their own, whoever is trusted to them or whoever is near to them. See, we have to think this too. If you have a problem, whether we have to share it or not. This is also a question. When you practically speaking, this is also a very important question. We all should be bothered about. Now, the rest of the paragraphs. Nomitha pulls the basket of potatoes towards herself and sits down to peel potatoes. And in her mind, she keeps thinking about how she might be able to secretly to send her mother a few rupees. She can't really write to her. I can't do any more. Don't hope for anything from me. Over there, the entire village knows Nomitha is a queen. Nomitha's husband is high-minded, large-hearted. This is precisely why I compare women to matchboxes. Even when they have the materials within themselves to set off many raging fires, they never flare up and burn away the mask of men's high-mindedness, their large-heartedness. They don't burn away their own colorful shells. They won't burn them. The men know this too. That's why they leave them scattered so carelessly in the kitchen, in the pantry, in the bedroom, here, there, everywhere, quite without fear. They put them in their pockets. So, Nomitha is not ready to share her troubles with the other members of the family. What all happened upstairs with her husband. She tries to, hide her feelings or hide her, worries before other members of the family. Now she also engages in the daily routine of the house. She pulls the basket of potatoes and begins to peel potatoes. And now what she is thinking about sending some money to her mother. How she will be able to send some money secretly to her mother. Because here she next three paragraphs are very important. Over there, the entire village knows Nomitha is a queen. See, in our village, what people say about fortune of a woman is considered in terms of her, husband's wealth. And many people have believed in her village that Nomitha is living like a queen in her husband's house. So she is. That is what the author tells, that she is in a colorful shell. For others, if you see a butterfly, those who see the butterfly will enjoy the colors of it. We think that butterfly is very happy, but actually the real fact is that butterfly may be searching for its food, or butterfly may be afraid of its preying animal. Some birds may come and eat it. But we think that butterfly is colorful shells or colorful feathers or colorful wings and all. So this is what true to Nomitha's case also. Nomitha's husband, every people over there in the village says that Nomitha's husband is high-minded, large-hearted. And the author comes back to the beginning of the story. This is precisely why I compare women to matchboxes. Even when they have the materials within themselves to set off many raging fires. Here, now what Nomitha could do, Nomitha could have, expressed her, or she, tear off the mask of, Ajith, that people think that Ajith is a very decent gentleman, but Nomitha suffers under him like a slave. But Nomitha here doesn't become ready to, expose her husband Ajith. This is, this is what every or many of the, male members of the family exploit. They know that, they are sure that their wives will not expose them. And here, they won't burn. The men knows this too. The author says that they won't burn them. The men know this too. The mask of high-mindedness, the mask of decency. Nomitha is not ready to tear it off, or Nomitha is not ready to expose her husband. That is why they leave them scattered so carelessly in the kitchen, the pantry, in the bedroom, here, there, everywhere. So what is the reason why women do not often get the proper, consideration in a family, or why their individuality is not respected, why their, personality is not respected by other members of the family or the male members? Why? What did you understand? Okay, the answer is in the last paragraph. So, women themselves, to an extent, women themselves are responsible for their backwardness. So, what should you do? If a question is asked from this part, to prepare a speech of women empowerment, about women empowerment, or to write an essay, or whatever it is, you should always, quote these things. Or apart from this story, the opinion of Ashapurna Devi, that women also are responsible. This is an example. Women also are responsible. Many a times, women also are responsible for their own backwardness. Don't you think that we should change this? Surely we should change this. So what can we do for the women empowerment? What all things can we do to empower women in our country? We have to think these things. We have to think about all these things. Okay. Now there are questions regarding. There are two important questions in the back. One is, prepare a write-up discussing the space of women in a family. Space of women in a family. Next one. How does the author substantiate the comparison between a woman and a matchbox? This is very important. How does the author substantiate the comparison between a woman and a matchbox? The beginning part and the concluding part is very significant when you try to answer the last question. Okay, let us wind up this lesson. And of course, there are questions in the back. Activity 2 is panel discussion. Panel discussion I have explained in some other video. Anyhow, let us meet again with another video of another lesson. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.